You won again in midweek in the Cup. I think that's 7 unbeaten now. How pleased are you with the start in terms of results, and also the way the players have quickly sort of taken on board your message and your methods?
Of course, I'm happy with that. I think actually we have 8 in a row. We played 9 games. We lost the first one, and then we have 8 in a row without a loss and won a few. So yes, I mean, we're doing very good result right now, and we have scored 23 goals, I think, in these 9 games and received 9. So it's looking good result-wise, but the main thing is also like we look good performance-wise. We kind of have the possession in the games. We create goal chances. So for me, we have taken a step already. So I'm pleased with that. But I think we are ready for the next step. Can we actually compete against the top 4 teams? Can we score more goals to win those games? We had a draw and everything. So we're not happy just because we are in a good spot. I think now we are ready to see can we improve. It was nice to see the game the other day when a few new players got the chance and they also performed. So I think that's the way to take it to the next stop.
And I guess with Man City up, that's a real big challenge. How do you see that? I mean, you know, they are one of the best top 3, top 4 clubs. Do you sort of feel Spurs are maybe not that far off as maybe you thought when you first walked in the building?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a good chance to compete against them, and probably we have a chance to win as well. And they have a system where they have played together for 2 years now, and same coach and quite many same players. So they are a good team with really high quality players. But you can also see that this league is more competitive now. They lost against Brighton. They have a few draws. So I think we have a chance. And if we have a good day, we can actually beat them. If we have a bad day, we're probably going to lose. So we need to be sure that we are consistently performing. On the other hand, I think soon that we are ready to take that fight. And so I'm just looking forward to see if we can do it now or if we need to regroup and make sure we take another step before we do that.
I think generally in WSL it's felt like there's been a big gap between those top 3 and 4 and the rest. I guess the performance at Chelsea in the opening day was a real big sort of step in the right direction. But have you had to sort of work with the squad to kind of make them aware that, you know, there isn't a golfing class? You don't need to fear these teams, that you just go on an equal level? Or do you feel like that was already there, that they didn't have that fear anyway?
I think there's some kind of respect for this top 4 club from everybody you speak to in this league, and that's quite good when I come from another league and don't really know how good they have been, right? So for me it's like it's just a team, and you know that you can beat them. I saw Beko Häcken beat Real Madrid the other day. I know that you can beat the best team in the world if you have a good game plan and good players, and we have good players, and Tottenham is not a small club, it's a big club. So I have respect for them, but I also think that we have national team players that can perform, so why should we have too much respect? I see stuff that we can handle tomorrow or on Sunday, so we can actually beat them. So hopefully we are ready for that.
And just finally from me, on a slightly different note, it's a 6:45 kick-off on Sunday. And the teams were really well supported when they've played away this season, Aston Villa and Brighton as well. Those sort of kick-offs, especially when it's London to Manchester, make it really difficult for the fans to get back. Is that something that maybe the WSL as a whole, and I appreciate you're only new to the league, but is that something that the league probably needs to look at, even though it's maybe a good slot in terms of TV? It's not helpful for fans, and especially younger fans, to get to those sort of games and support the team.
Yeah, I mean, we had the same in Sweden where the TV company showed some dates Friday evening, Monday evening, and it's hard to bring the people to the stadiums. On the other hand, the TV productions gives a lot of money into these products, which helping it for the long run. So I have enormous respect for the TV companies trying to help women's football. So I'm not really angry about that, but of course we need to look at it in the future to make sure we can bring our fans up there and have a good performance, because what you look for is a stadium full with away fans, home fans and everything, and Sunday evening is not the best time for that.
Do you have any questions? Thanks.
Hi, Robert. On a team news front, how is that looking in terms of, especially, I suppose, a Beth England return?
Bethany is taking steps every week. She's in most of the sessions during training right now, so she's taking steps, but it's still too early to take her this weekend. Ellie Brazil got a duel in the last game, which make her unavailable for a few weeks. Not a big injury, but she will not be in the squad for this weekend. Olga is still doing her rehab. Drew is getting closer, but she's still also not available. But otherwise, we have a full squad. The
way that Manchester City will probably play this weekend, is there a part of you that thinks that you can capitalise on that style in a sense? In, you know, you're quite high pressing without the ball, they like to pass it out from the back. Do you think you can use that to your advantage in some ways, or would you like to think so?
Yeah, I mean, I like to play against teams who want to have a build-up and try to have short passes, because then you know that you can press them, and if you're good enough, you're going to win the ball, right? So for me, I kind of like to play against the top clubs that play that way. But then on the other hand, they press really high and really tough, so we need to be really sharp there, otherwise they're going to score against us. So no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good game because we don't really have any pressure on us, but I kind of create and pressure. I think we can compete against them, so it's going to be nice to see.
And having had a bright performance, if not the result, against Chelsea on the opening day, when you didn't necessarily know your players as well as you do now, does that give you more belief as well that, a few weeks down the line, a couple of months down the line, you can really take this to Manchester City on Sunday? Yeah,
I think I've seen from the first training to today's training that they are developing every day, and then that's, it's back in the goal, it's Ash, and it's Grace Clinton, it's everybody. So, and this Wednesday's game, where they show me that more players want to be a part of this, then I get a really good opportunity to use that and see who are actually ready to play this game and show me that we are on the right level. But I have enormous respect for City and those players there, so I know it's going to be tough, but we can absolutely find a good way to try to beat them.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
We can move online now. So Dan Pentland, do you want to kick us off on Zoom?
Hi Robert, hope you're well. Feels like City maybe stuttered a little bit at home in the last couple of games. Obviously they got beaten by Brighton and they lost in the County Cup on penalties the other day. So does it feel like it's a good time to go up there and play them on their own pitch?
Yeah, I think it's always a good time to play against them, even if they won like 5 games in a row or lost the 5 games, because you can use that in your way of looking into it, right? But the main thing is how we come to this game with a lot of good performances in our package, and I think no matter if they won or draw or lost the last game, I think teams in this league starting to respect us and see that we are a good team, so I think we have a good chance to actually compete on Sunday.
Scoring goals and playing good attacking football, does that kind of override that a little bit?
Yeah, I'd rather win 3-2 than 1-0. So for me, it's more like we need to score more goals. But of course, we want to have a clean sheet and we want to make sure we can do that. But we know what to develop to make sure we get a better chance to get a clean sheet. But for me, it's more into how to score more goals. Actually, I'm not going to put too much effort to get that clean sheet. I'm going to make sure we score more goals. That's the Tottenham way. Cheers.
Thanks, Emma.
Hey, well, thanks very much for your top line. Just what you were saying there to Dan about kind of wanting to score more goals. It sounds like a much more fun way to approach a game of football, and I'd imagine the players are really enjoying that. So, do you think that's an element as to why they're perhaps performing so well under you so far?
I think so. I mean, if you're going to build self-confidence, you kind of get self-confidence when you score goals or create chances and you feel the flow. And I think the fans likes to see goal chances, and when we enter their half, if we're going to start trying to save the box and make sure they don't score, we don't really get a good energy unless we actually have a clean sheet. So for me, it's like, no, we need to score more goals. We need to have more ball. We need to create more chances. That's how we should develop. Then we, of course, need to be sharp and in some situations when we're going to defend. But if you look at it, we haven't really more than 3-4 shots at every game against our goal, right? So we actually defend quite well. We haven't received more than 1 goal for just 2 games. That's Chelsea and Aston Villa. So we still actually defend quite well. But yeah, I want to play for the fans, and the fans love goals. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly enjoying it. I just wondered with the winter transfer window approaching, it's not too far away now. Obviously, when you came in the summer, you made a few signings, but not loads. Is that something that you're looking into January? Obviously, given the Scandinavian market is obviously open, the Australian market, are they sort of areas that you might be looking into?
Absolutely, it's going to be players in Christmas. Absolutely.
Great news. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Rachel.
Hi, Robert. You were talking about sort of players who are new or seem new, and Romeo Petrosberger isn't new, but this was her first 90 minutes since she's been at Spurs. What did you, and you got an assist, and I guess the question is, what did you see from her?
Yeah, but I mean, she's a great footballer, and she's been in this league before and performed well, right? And she had a tough last year with a lot of injuries. And when I came, she got injured in the first friendly game and missed the whole preseason, basically. So she's worked so hard to get back in the squad and to get those minutes. And I mean, she's a great footballer and she's a great person. She brings a lot of good stuff to this team. So it's more like it's really tough, competition in those positions, but it was really nice to see those 90 minutes against Bristol, and she almost scored in the last second as well. So she's a great baller.
And just in terms of, I remember a few weeks ago you said that you were working with Celine on scoring more goals, and then we saw her score in 2 games in a row. Who are you working with at the moment, and who do you think is about to start scoring more goals?
I think I'm going to raise Anton, one of my assistant coaches. He works really good with the players individually, and he worked with Celine on the field, basically. So, I mean, if you look at who's scoring right now, Celine is scoring, right? Martha haven't scored for a few games, and Grace. But for me, it's like we have so many players. Rosella scored 2 goals the other night, and we work with everybody to be better. And one day Martha scores, another day Celine scores, but we work with everybody all the time, and my staff around me is very much looking into details with the clips and on the field and everything. So I'm just giving them the trust there, and they shine.
Actually, just talking about your staff, one of the things we've seen is on match days you seem to work very closely with Vicky Jepson, who obviously had previously worked with Leanne Skinner and she was interim manager. What's the relationship with her been like, and how does she sort of help smooth your first period at Spurs?
I mean, she helps me a lot off the pitch. She knows the league, she knows the country, she knows the players, she knows the opponents, she knows the stadiums. So having Vicky close to me is very much important to me to make sure I can be myself. So she makes sure that all the staff members know what to do. She knows how I want to do it, so she doesn't really need to run to me all the time. She can actually take decisions. And I know that she's going to take the right decisions. She's running sessions, she's running feedback, she's running set pieces. So for me, Vicky is a brilliant coach, and I'm very happy to have her on my side.
That's excellent. And just one other thing is you mentioned Roz scoring 2 in the week, and she's the player who's been at Spurs a long time, but she sometimes hasn't quite had that impact that maybe she wants to be having in WSL. Are there things that you can see from her that you think she's progressing with?
Yeah, I think the thing you saw last game when she actually scored 2 goals and created a penalty, like actually doing those goals is her way into this team, I would say. And I also think if you look at her GPS on the back when she's running, I guess I've never seen anybody do those sprint meters in a game that she did the last game. So she has some X factors there that can take herself to the top in this league, but it's also, like you said, she's been in the league for a few years, and her consistency to do points basically is the thing. And now she scored 2 goals. I'm very happy for her because she haven't played too much for me. So I'm happy that she shows that she want to play more.
And finally, I guess after this game, you've got an international window. Are there things that you especially are hoping to get out of that period?
There is. I mean, we're going to have a few players left, and we're going to make sure we actually have a friendly game that week as well to make sure we work on details before we go into the last month of tough games, right? So, but the main thing is now to make sure we get some good performances and some good results before we go on Christmas break. So we're going to have a good game on Sunday, then we're going to have a catch-up week where we can train on stuff and make sure we are prepared for the last 3 games after that, which will be Man United, Arsenal. So we are in a good spot, and hopefully we can be in a good run until Christmas.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? We're all done. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks.